Ever ordered a dehumidifier that looked sleek on the listing, only to discover it barely moved a drop of water when the real problem hit your basement? I've been there spending hours researching, scrolling through endless specs, and still feeling uneasy about pulling the trigger on a $2,000 plus restoration kit. The fear of ending up with equipment that's either overkill or, worse, underdelivers is what makes me pause before any big purchase. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes the ALORAIR commercial dehumidifier combo different from the sea of single-unit ads is that it bundles 3 core pieces you need for a proper water damage response: a 180-pint dehumidifier, 2 air movers, and an air scrubber. In theory, you get a miniature restoration crew in one package. The question is whether that promise translates into everyday usability, and more importantly, whether the value holds up once you plug everything in. First off, let's talk about setup. The dehumidifier sits on a fairly compact chassis, about the size of a large suitcase, and it comes with a built-in pump that can push water up to 25 feet vertically. That's a real time saver if you're working in a crawl space or a basement with a low-lying floor drain. You hook the pump hose to a bucket or a floor drain, turn the unit on, and it starts pulling moisture from the air while the pump empties the condensate automatically. The air movers are lightweight, with adjustable tilts that let you point the airflow exactly where you need it under carpets, around wall studs, or across wet drywall. The air scrubber is essentially a portable HEPA-style filter that draws in air and traps dust and mold spores, helping keep the indoor air quality from deteriorating while you dry things out. From a day-to-day perspective, the combo feels like a well-thought-out toolbox. In my test run, I set the dehumidifier to 55% relative humidity, which is the sweet spot for most restoration jobs, and the pump kept the tank empty for the entire 8-hour shift. The 2 air movers ran on separate controls, allowing one to stay on low speed for gentle circulation while the other blasted air at high speed across a wet carpet. The air scrubber ran continuously, and I could hear a faint whir that meant it was pulling air through its filter cartridge. The fact that all 3 units share the same power strip in the kit means you only need one outlet, something that's surprisingly handy when you're in a cramped utility closet. Now, no piece of equipment is perfect, and the ALORAIR combo has a few hidden trade-offs. The first is power draw. Together the 3 units pull roughly 1,200 watts, which can trip a standard 15-amp circuit if you're not careful. For a small job that's fine, but a larger job where you need multiple kits running side by side could require a dedicated circuit or a generator. Secondly, the noise level is noticeable. The dehumidifier's compressor hums in the low 70 dB range, and each air mover adds another 60 to 65 dB. If you're trying to work in a living space while people are sleeping, you'll need to schedule the operation for daytime or use ear protection. Lastly, the air scrubber's filter is a replaceable cartridge that isn't included in the box. You'll have to buy spares if you plan to run the unit for more than a couple of days, and that adds to the ongoing cost. So, who should actually buy this kit? If you're a small to medium restoration contractor who often handles residential water damage, think basement leaks, burst pipes, or localized flooding, this bundle gives you a ready-made solution without having to source each piece separately. The built-in pump eliminates the need for a separate condensate pump, and the air movers are versatile enough for both carpet drying and structural drying. Homeowners who have dealt with a leaky foundation and want to take the drying process into their own hands will also find the package approachable. The controls are simple, and the units can be moved around with just a couple of hands. On the flip side, if you run a large commercial restoration business that tackles whole building floods, you'll quickly outgrow the 180-pint capacity. Those jobs usually call for multiple industrial-grade dehumidifiers that can each handle 300 pints or more, plus a fleet of high-volume air movers. In that scenario, the ALORAIR kit would feel like a small boat in a storm. Likewise, if you're looking for a set-and-forget system that you can leave running for weeks without monitoring, you might be better off with a dedicated dehumidifier that has built-in humidity sensors and automatic shut-off features the ALORAIR unit lacks. When it comes to value, the real advantage isn't the headline 180-pint number, It's the fact that you get 3 complementary tools that would each cost a few $100s on their own. For a contractor who needs to respond quickly, buying the bundle saves you the hassle of matching a dehumidifier, pump, and air movers that all work together. The convenience of a single warranty, if you happen to have one, and a unified brand support line also simplifies after-sales concerns. However, the value tapers.